After 60, green tea can help your morning feel clearer, but it can also quietly disturb your sleep, make your hands feel shaky, and make your blood pressure pattern harder to understand. The problem is usually not green tea itself. The problem is when you drink it, how strong you make it, what you add to it, and what you expect it to do. So let's make this practical from the start. Green tea after 60 comes down to 3 common mistakes and 3 simple rules. The mistakes are making it too strong, drinking it too late, and forgetting about sugar, medicines, or iron. The rules are just as simple: drink it early, drink it plain, and drink it gently. If you remember nothing else, remember those 3 words: early, plain, gentle. As you listen, think about your own routine. Do you usually drink green tea in the morning, after lunch, late afternoon, or at night? Keep that answer in your mind, because by the end, you may realize that the timing of your cup matters more than the tea itself. The reason this matters is that high blood pressure is extremely common after 60. CDC/NCHS data from August 2021 to August 2023 found hypertension in 47.7% of adults overall, but in adults age 60 and older, the number rose to 71.6%. In ordinary language, if 10 people over 60 are sitting in a room, about 7 may have high blood pressure or may be taking treatment for it. That does not mean green tea is a treatment. It means daily habits around caffeine, sugar, sleep, sodium, hydration, and medication timing are worth taking seriously. Green tea is often described online as if it can clean the arteries, burn fat, lower pressure, and fix energy all at once. That is not how the body works. Green tea contains plant compounds called catechins, including EGCG, and these compounds are being studied for blood vessel function, oxidative stress, and heart health. But when researchers reviewed randomized clinical trials, the average blood pressure effect was modest, about 2.08 millimeters of mercury lower systolic pressure and about 1.71 millimeters of mercury lower diastolic pressure compared with control. That is a real number, but it is not a miracle number. That is why the real question is not, can green tea lower blood pressure? The better question is, am I drinking it in a way that supports my body or in a way that quietly works against me? And the first place to look is strength. The first mistake is making green tea too strong. Many people believe that if a cup tastes bitter, it must be more powerful. They pour boiling water over the tea, leave the bag in for 10 minutes, and drink it almost like a medicine. But stronger does not always mean better. A very strong cup may contain more caffeine and more compounds that irritate the stomach. For some seniors, that can mean nausea, reflux, a sour stomach, urgent bowel movements, shakiness, or a restless feeling they did not expect from tea. A better method is gentler. Boil the water, let it sit for about 1 minute, then steep the tea for about 2 to 3 minutes and remove the bag or leaves. If you like a slightly stronger taste, increase slowly, but do not begin with a bitter concentrate. After 60, the goal is not to shock the body into better health. The goal is to find a steady habit your body can tolerate, repeat, and trust. This is especially important if you have reflux, gastritis, a sensitive stomach, or a poor appetite in the morning. A strong tea on an empty stomach can feel unpleasant, and when that happens, some older adults eat less breakfast without realizing the tea is part of the reason. That is not helpful for energy. A drink that supports your morning should not replace food, reduce appetite, or make the stomach feel unsettled before the day has even started. The second mistake is drinking green tea too late. Many people think it is only tea, not coffee, but green tea still contains caffeine. Mayo Clinic lists an 8-ounce cup of brewed green tea at about 29 milligrams of caffeine, while an 8-ounce cup of brewed coffee is listed at about 96 milligrams. So green tea is usually gentler than coffee, but gentler does not mean caffeine-free. This matters because sleep after 60 can be fragile. Many older adults already wake at 2 or 3 in the morning, get up to use the bathroom, or sleep lightly after stress, pain, or an active mind. If a person adds green tea at 4 p.m. to fight afternoon fatigue, that small caffeine boost may be enough to push sleep in the wrong direction. The FDA notes that caffeine sensitivity and caffeine metabolism vary widely from person to person, which is why the same cup can feel mild to one person and too stimulating to another. Here is the loop I see often. A person feels tired at 3 p.m., drinks tea to get through the afternoon, sleeps poorly, wakes up tired, then needs more caffeine the next day. The tea seems like the solution, but it may quietly feed the same tiredness it is trying to fix. The way out is not always more caffeine. Sometimes the way out is moving caffeine earlier and protecting the night. So the practical rule is this: if you are over 60 and you want green tea for energy, use it for the morning, not for the evening. 1 cup after breakfast or between breakfast and lunch is often the best starting point. If you tolerate caffeine well and sleep soundly, a second cup before 2 p.m. may be fine for some people. But if you already have insomnia, nighttime waking, anxiety, reflux, palpitations, or shaky hands, keep it to 1 week morning cup or choose decaffeinated green tea. Now let's be honest about energy. Green tea may give a gentle lift, but it is not a complete energy plan. If breakfast is only toast and jam, or if breakfast is skipped, a cup of tea cannot create stable energy from nothing. A better morning starts with food that gives the body something to work with. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tofu, fish, beans, nut butter, or another protein source that fits your diet. Then green tea can come after breakfast or mid-morning, where it supports alertness instead of covering up under-eating. Imagine a 72-year-old woman who wakes tired, drinks coffee at 7 a.m., has very little breakfast, drinks sweet bottled tea at lunch, and then drinks green tea at 4 p.m. because she heard it was good for blood pressure. Her sleep is broken, her morning readings are inconsistent, and she feels weak by mid-afternoon. The problem is not one single cup. The problem is the pattern. She may do better with protein at breakfast, 1 gentle green tea at 10 a.m., water in the afternoon, and no caffeine after lunch. That change is not dramatic, but it often works because it respects the body's rhythm. The third mistake is forgetting what is inside the cup, or what the cup is being taken with. Plain green tea is very different from bottled green tea with sugar, a cafe matcha latte, or a cup loaded with honey every time. If the goal is blood pressure, blood sugar, weight control, or steady energy, sweetened tea can work against you. A drink can look healthy on the front label and still behave like a sugary drink once it is inside the body. This is especially important for people with diabetes, prediabetes, belly weight, high triglycerides, fatty liver, or afternoon energy crashes. If you want green tea to support your routine, the cleanest version is brewed, unsweetened, and simple. A little lemon is fine for many people. A small splash of milk is not the issue. The issue is turning a healthy-looking drink into dessert and then wondering why energy rises and falls. Matcha deserves a careful word here. Matcha is powdered green tea, so you consume the powdered leaf rather than steeping leaves and removing them. Some people enjoy it and tolerate it well, but it may feel stronger than regular brewed green tea. A large, sweet matcha latte can bring more caffeine, more sugar, and more calories than a person realizes. If you use matcha after 60, start small, keep it early, and do not assume it is the same as 1 mild cup of brewed tea. Now, if you take blood pressure pills, blood thinners, iron, or several daily medicines, this next part is worth listening to carefully, because this is where many seniors make a mistake without realizing it. Tea feels harmless because it is familiar, but familiar does not always mean invisible to the body. The National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health notes that green tea as a beverage has not raised safety concerns for most adults, but it also notes that green tea can interact with some medicines. In particular, high doses may reduce blood levels and effectiveness of nadolol, a beta blocker used for high blood pressure and heart problems. This does not mean everyone on a blood pressure pill must avoid a normal cup. It means large amounts, sudden changes, and concentrated green tea products should be handled carefully. Warfarin is another example where consistency matters. A published case report described probable antagonism of warfarin by green tea because green tea can be a source of vitamin K, which may work against the intended effect of warfarin. The key point is not panic. The key point is consistency. If a person taking warfarin goes from no green tea to several cups a day, that change may matter. If they drink it regularly, their care team should know the pattern. Iron is a quieter issue, but it can be very important for older adults with fatigue. Tea polyphenols can reduce absorption of non-heme iron, the kind found in plant foods and many supplements. That does not mean every tea drinker becomes anemic, but if you already have low iron, low ferritin, restless legs, or unexplained fatigue, do not take your iron pill with green tea. Separate them by at least 1 to 2 hours and follow the timing your clinician or pharmacist recommends. This is why the phrase natural means safe can mislead people. Natural things can still have real effects. Grapefruit is natural and can interact with medicines. Vitamin K-rich foods are natural and can matter for blood thinners. Green tea is natural, but it still contains caffeine, polyphenols, catechins, and compounds that may matter depending on your medication list. That does not make green tea frightening. It makes it worth using wisely. There is also a big difference between brewed green tea and green tea extract. A brewed cup is a beverage. A concentrated capsule is a much stronger exposure. NCCIH notes that liver injury has been reported, although uncommon, mostly with green tea products in tablet or capsule form. Green tea extract supplements can also cause nausea, constipation, abdominal discomfort, and increased blood pressure. So when we are talking about green tea after 60, the safer and more practical conversation is usually about brewed tea, not high-dose extract capsules. There is one more detail that makes a big difference: how you measure blood pressure around green tea. Some people drink tea, walk around the house, climb stairs, sit down quickly, take one reading, and then blame the tea for the number. That is not a fair test. A cleaner method is to measure at the same general time each day. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, keep both feet on the floor, support the arm at heart level, and take 2 readings about 1 minute apart. The number, after a stressful phone call, a rushed morning, a salty meal, or a poor night of sleep, may not tell you what green tea did. It may simply tell you what the whole day did. This matters because older adults often make decisions from one frightening number. They see a higher reading once and stop a food or drink completely, or they see one lower number and think the drink is working like medicine. Neither is a good way to judge a habit. Patterns are more useful than single moments. If you are testing green tea, write down the time you drank it, the time you measured, and how you slept the night before. Within a week, the pattern becomes easier to understand. Now let's divide this into 3 groups, because not every person over 60 needs the same green tea routine. The first group is the person with high blood pressure, but good sleep and no caffeine sensitivity. This person may do well with 1 morning cup after breakfast, perhaps a second small cup before lunch if the first cup feels comfortable. The priority is still sodium, movement, weight, medication consistency, and home readings, but green tea may be a pleasant replacement for a sugary drink. The second group is the person with high blood pressure and poor sleep. For this person, green tea must be handled more carefully. A morning cup may still be fine, but afternoon tea is often the wrong move. The reason is simple. Poor sleep can raise stress, worsen cravings, reduce motivation to move, and make the whole next day harder. If the tea steals sleep, it may indirectly work against blood pressure, even if green tea itself has a small favorable effect in studies. The third group is the person who feels weak, dizzy, or lightheaded when standing. This person should not assume that every blood pressure lowering habit is automatically good. Some older adults are already on several medications, and their pressure may drop too low at certain times of the day. For them, the question is not, how can I lower my blood pressure more? The question is, why am I dizzy, and what does my home pattern show? Green tea is not the main issue here. The pattern of readings, hydration, meals, and medicines matters more. Hydration also deserves a simple explanation. Green tea can contribute to daily fluid intake for many people, but it should not become the only drink. Some older adults sip very little water because they do not want to urinate often. Then they drink most of their fluid late in the evening and wake up all night. A better pattern for many people without fluid restrictions is to drink smaller amounts earlier in the day. A morning green tea can fit into that pattern, but it should not replace water completely. The best routine often looks ordinary. Breakfast at 8 a.m., 1 gentle green tea at 9:30 or 10 a.m., a short walk or light movement later in the morning, lunch with protein and vegetables, then water or decaf drinks in the afternoon. For someone used to drinking sweet bottled tea, cola, or a second coffee, this routine can feel surprisingly different. It removes some sugar, reduces late caffeine, supports hydration earlier, and gives the body a steadier rhythm. There is also a mental side to this. Many seniors feel pressure to follow every new health trend, and green tea is often presented as if more is always better. But after 60, good health is not about chasing every powerful ingredient. It is about choosing habits that do not create new problems. A habit that worsens sleep is not a good energy habit. A habit that irritates the stomach is not a good nutrition habit. A habit that confuses medication timing is not a good senior health habit. Green tea is useful only if it fits the whole person. So instead of asking, is green tea good or bad? Ask a better question. Is my way of drinking green tea helping my actual day? If it helps you replace a sugary drink, keeps you comfortable, does not disturb sleep, and fits your medicines, it may be a good habit. If it makes you jittery, keeps you awake, reduces appetite, or becomes another sweet drink, it may not be the right habit for you, at least not in that form. Now let's turn this into a simple 7-day routine. For 1 week, drink 1 plain 8-ounce cup after breakfast or mid-morning. Brew it gently for 2 to 3 minutes. Do not add sugar. Do not drink it after lunch. Do not use extract capsules. Do not change 5 other habits at the same time, because if you change everything at once, you will not know what helped and what caused a problem. During that week, watch 5 things: your energy, your sleep, your stomach comfort, your heart rhythm, and your blood pressure pattern. Do not judge the whole habit from one reading. Blood pressure moves with stress, pain, sodium, hydration, activity, sleep, and caffeine. Look at the pattern over several days. If your energy feels smoother, your stomach is calm, your sleep does not worsen, and your readings remain steady, green tea may fit you well. If you feel jittery, acidic, restless, or wake more at night, that is useful information too. For blood pressure, the best green tea routine is not dramatic. It looks almost boring. Breakfast first, 1 gentle unsweetened cup in the morning, no caffeine late in the day, and regular home readings taken at a consistent time. Boring habits are often the ones that protect older adults best because they do not create confusion. They are easy to repeat, easy to track, and easy to adjust. For energy, the order should be sleep first, protein second, hydration third, and caffeine fourth. Many seniors reverse that order. They start with caffeine, skip protein, sip very little water, and then wonder why the body feels tired by 2 p.m. A better pattern is to eat a real breakfast, have green tea mid-morning, take a short walk, or do gentle movement, and switch to water or decaf drinks later in the day. That kind of routine gives energy without pushing the nervous system too hard. For sleep, the rule is even simpler. Move caffeine earlier than you think you need to. If you are sleeping poorly, try stopping caffeinated tea and coffee after lunch for 2 weeks. Many people are surprised by what changes. Sometimes the evening problem started in the afternoon. Sometimes the morning fatigue started with last night's tea. The body leaves clues, but we only notice them when the routine becomes consistent. If you are thinking, I drink green tea at night and sleep fine, that may be true for you. People metabolize caffeine differently. The FDA states that 400 milligrams of caffeine per day is an amount not generally associated with dangerous negative effects for most adults, but it also notes wide variation in how sensitive people are and how quickly they metabolize caffeine. In other words, the average number is not your personal number. Your personal number is revealed by your sleep, pulse, stomach, anxiety level, and blood pressure pattern. This is the question that matters most. What is green tea replacing? If it replaces soda, sweet bottled tea, or a large late-day coffee, it may be a very smart upgrade. If it is added on top of coffee, cola, chocolate, poor sleep, and a weak breakfast, it may become one more stimulant in an already tired system. The same drink can help one person and bother another because the surrounding routine is different. So before buying a new brand, count your real caffeine sources: coffee counts, black tea counts, green tea counts, matcha counts, cola counts, energy drinks count. Some pain relievers and supplements may contain caffeine too. Once you see the whole day, the right green tea habit becomes easier to choose. If this is making you rethink your own routine, do one simple thing today. Write down the time of your green tea, how strong you make it, and whether it is sweetened. That small record can show you more than a health claim on a tea box. The final recommendation is simple. After 60, the most sensible green tea habit is usually 1 plain brewed cup in the morning or mid-morning, made gently, taken after food, and kept away from iron pills or medication timing issues. Avoid making it very strong, avoid drinking it late, and be especially careful with concentrated extracts. If you use warfarin, complex heart medicines, Nadolol, or iron, consistency and timing matter. The 3 rules are early, plain, and gentle. Early protects sleep. Plain protects blood sugar and weight. Gentle protects the stomach and reduces the chance of feeling shaky. If those 3 rules fit your body, green tea can be a useful part of a senior health routine. If they do not fit your body, that does not mean you failed. It means another drink may suit you better. Green tea after 60 should not be dramatic. It should not be a detox, a cure, or a challenge to see how much you can drink. It should be a modest habit that fits your blood pressure, your sleep, your stomach, your medicines, and your real daily life. The healthiest drink is not always the one with the most hype. It is the one your body can use without paying for it later. Before you leave, write one word in the comments: morning, afternoon, or evening. That tells me when you usually drink green tea, and it may help others notice the same pattern in their own lives.